Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm reviewing an ink from Diamine. It is this ink. It's Cherry Sunburst. This is from the Les Paul collection, a collection of 5 inks that were designed to replicate colours of the Les Paul like Gibson guitar models and colours. And I said this is Cherry Sunburst. I'll show it on a couple of different kinds of paper and show a couple of tests I did with it and yeah, give you my thoughts. So this is how it comes packaged. This is the 80ml bottle and it comes in a nice cardboard box and then in the standard bottle. So as I said, there were 5 of these inks. They come in the 30ml bottles and the 80ml bottles, all sold individually. And there's a range of sort of yellows, orange, some lighter browns, and then a beautiful blue, which I really enjoy as well. So I have the ink here on Tomoe River paper. Now I had it in 2 pens, a TWSBI Go with a broad nib and a TWSBI Eco with an extra fine nib. And you can see I wrote with it in both pens. You can see there, so it's a lovely sort of red-brown with some lovely shading. So let's run through my 5 points on this ink, talk about the performance, show it on Rhodia, and then, yeah. Here we go. So, firstly, nice saturation. For a shading ink like this, the lighter shading is still very legible, and the darker shading is certainly more than, you know, sort of, it's very nicely sort of readable on the page, dark enough that it's not going to sort of be, you know, a strain on your eyes. Good performance. Diamine inks are incredibly safe. So, this is the second point. The third point, safe. So they perform well, they are easy to clean out of pens, they don't bleed or feather heavily, all of that sort of stuff. Fourth point is it's part of a nice set. So you get this set, particularly if you're a guitar fan, I think this would be a lovely set to collect because I think the colours are very reminiscent of those really classic guitar body colours. But just in general, they're really nice sort of standard inks, like not heavy sheeners, not you know, with shimmer or anything like that, just beautiful, you know, sort of inks that perform really well. The last point is that it's affordable. I'll get to the price in just a second, but Diamine inks are not super expensive and you actually get quite a lot of ink for the price. So affordability is a really big plus in this ink's favour. These bottles do cost sometimes a touch more than a couple of the other colours, but that's because they're part of a set. Okay, let's talk about performance. This has really nice flow. It feels beautiful in the pens. Neither of these pens are particularly wet, but the ink flow still is really beautiful. And as you can see, it lays down, you know, a nice amount of ink. It's a delicious red-brown with a rich colour which shades nicely, very little bleed or feather, and it's got a lot of warmth to it. Also, there is some water resistance. As you can see here from the water resistance test, there's quite a little bit sort of left behind, easily readable, sort of a browny grey sort of colour left behind, but certainly the detail is still there, which I think is actually pretty good for an ink that is not billed as being water resistant at all. Let's now look at it on Rhodia. So this is just a Rhodia 80-gram pad. You can see here that, you know, the colours still look great. It's got good flow. And even with an extra fine nib, it's lighter, but there's still a lot of that warmth there. And it lays down sort of a still a beautiful colour. It's not super wet, but as I said, the flow is great. And if we look at the reverse of this page, when I can turn it over, you'll see that nothing has sort of come through there at all. So no feathering, no bleed, just a nice performing ink. If we look at the reverse of the Rhodia page, the Tomoe River page here, sorry, once again, nothing has come through. You see it through because that's the nature of this paper, but nothing has actually bled through. So here, now I'll show you my colour comparisons. The SBRE Brown, which is a Diamine Akamai sort of collaboration, I suppose, with the YouTube personality fountain pen reviewer SBRE Brown. This is that brown. You can see it next to Cherry Sunburst there, and then Monteverde Canyon Rust. You can see it sits nicely between those colours. It's a little darker and a little bit more red than the SBRE Brown, but it's not quite as brown as Canyon Rust there. So it's a nice sort of mix of those two colours in my opinion. You can see there the chromatography, which lines up well with the water resistance test. A little bit of a grey line left behind, lots of orange and pink, and then sort of a mix of blues and greens at the top. It's a really interesting mix of colors. So the extras on this ink, as I said, no sheen or shimmer, just a really good sort of standard ink. So now let's talk price. I said Diamine was affordable, and I stand by that. In Australia, this is from Pole Prediction. The 30ml bottle retails for $8.95, and the 80ml bottle, which is what I showed you earlier, for $19.95. So that's really reasonable, and Pole Prediction have some of the best Diamine prices in Australia. The US price, and this is from Jet Pens, is $7.50 US for the 30ml bottle and $16.50 for the 80ml. So actually, the difference between the Australian and American prices is very, very small. The best prices you can get on Diamine are always going to be from the UK, and I think that Colt Pens is probably one of the best in this respect. So the 30ml bottle from there is £2.35, and the 80ml is £5.90. And that's including VAT. So if you're not in the UK, Europe, you can take that off the price. So I've given this ink a 4 out of 5. I really like it. I like the warmth of the color. I like the shading. It's not super pronounced shading. It's just like, if we look here in the word performance, there's a nice little bit of popping of some of that lighter brown red coming through, which I really like. I think it's a warm, clean ink, clean from the perspective of being safe for pens, of course, but also clean because it's not, as I said, it's not shimmering, it's not super sheening or super saturated. It's just a lovely, traditional, beautiful ink in a lovely, warm, earthy tone, which I really enjoy personally. So this was Diamine Cherry Sunburst from the Les Paul collection. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button if you want to stay up to date with the videos that I produce. Please feel free to get in touch using any of the platforms listed below. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at @the_offstage_me, or you can contact me on any of my videos here, or drop me an email which is listed down below. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you'd like to support the channel, get in touch and let's see what we can do. In the meantime, enjoy your pens and your ink, and I'll talk to you soon.